Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're slipping into something truly unexpected in the world of utes, the 2026 BYD Shark 6. When I first laid eyes on this dual-cab plug-in hybrid, I half expected a rugged workhorse. Instead, I found a vehicle that bridges the gap between luxury SUV comfort and the raw utility of a traditional pickup. BYD has made bold claims about this truck, promising an electric-first driving experience, generous V2L capability, and pricing under $60,000. Sliding into the driver's seat, the Shark 6 immediately challenges your assumptions about what a ute should be. The cabin is cloaked in black with tasteful orange accents, and the overall design feels more like a high-end SUV than a utilitarian work truck. The soft-touch materials are everywhere, from the plush faux-leather seats to the padded panels on the doors, yet BYD wisely retained many physical controls, so you're never fumbling through deep menu trees while driving. The 15.6-inch infotainment display dominates the center stack, rotating between portrait and landscape modes with a satisfying mechanical click, and flanked by tactile scroll knobs for volume and temperature. Ahead of the wheel, a 10.25-inch digital cluster sits flush against the dash, offering clear, minimalist graphics and a head-up display that projects critical information seamlessly onto the windshield. It's a cabin that shouts luxury, yet BYD has kept enough of that ute DNA, chunky grab handles, wide side steps, and a commanding driving position to remind you this thing is ready to work. Of course, luxury without substance is an empty promise, and that's where the Shark SIXS powertrain steals the show. Under the bonnet lives a 1.5-liter turbocharged petrol engine married to two electric motors, one on each axle, powered by a robust 29.6 kilowatt-hour lithium iron phosphate battery pack. In everyday use, the Shark 6 truly behaves like an electric vehicle: silent takeoffs, instant torque, and seamless transitions between EV and hybrid modes. BYD claims up to 100 kilometers of electric range under test conditions, though real-world use will likely settle closer to 80 kilometers. Still, that's more than enough to tackle a full day's commuting without once tipping into hybrid mode. And when the battery's juice dips below 25%, the petrol engine quietly kicks in, not as a direct drive source, but as a generator to recharge the batteries and maintain momentum, even at highway speeds. The result is an EV-first experience that feels modern and intuitive, yet backed by the reassurance of a combustion generator when you venture beyond charger reach. Naturally, we push the Shark 6 into its off-road corners to see how it holds up when the pavement ends. Switching between mud, sand, gravel, and snow terrain modes, I found the SUV-like ride quality and independent coil suspension delivered a supple, composed demeanor, even over rutted farm tracks. Traction control tweaks allow for controlled wheel slip, preventing the abrupt jerks common to lesser systems. Hill descent control, unusually quiet, with no distracting ABS noises, kept the truck at a steady pace down steep inclines. That said, hardcore four-wheel drive fans will note the lack of mechanical diff locks and a low-range gearbox. This isn't a rock crawler by any stretch. Rather, it's a ute that can handle light adventure duties while keeping occupants cocooned in comfort. On the road, the Shark SIXS driving dynamics underscore its hybrid heart. In sport mode, the combined 321 kilowatts and 650 newton meters of torque launch you from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 5.7 seconds, making it quicker off the line than many performance SUVs and even faster than a Ranger Raptor on paper. In practice, you'll feel electric power up to about 70 kilometers per hour before the generator steps in, whisper quiet at idle and whirring softly when asked to top up the battery. Braking is equally refined. 2 levels of regenerative braking paired with 2 brake pedal feel settings ensure a natural, predictable slowdown without the jarring transitions of one-pedal-only EVs. It's a balance that serves both urban commuters and weekend explorers, delivering efficiency without sacrificing drivability. Space is another surprise. BYD didn't skimp on second-row comfort. The rear bench reclines just enough to invite relaxation, and at 182 centimeters tall, I found ample headroom, legroom, and shoulder room even behind my own driving position. There's no driveshaft hump in the floor, making it easier for 3 passengers to ride abreast, though the middle seat is slightly elevated. Practical touches abound. rear USB-C and USB-A ports, a household-style 10A socket, and map pockets behind the front seats. For families or crews on the job, it feels more thoughtful than the Spartan cabins of traditional utes. Speaking of practicality, the load bed measures 1,520 mm long, 1,500 mm wide, and 517 mm deep, equating to around 1,200 L of cargo space. BYD's included tub liner protects the floor, while three 230V outlets with a combined 6.6 kilowatts output mean you can power tools or appliances directly from the battery, redefining worksite truck for the electric age. Even more impressive is BYD's decision to keep a full-size spare wheel, a rare sight in PHEVs, ensuring you're never stranded far from help. Of course, these innovations come with trade-offs. The Shark SIXS payload tops out at 800 kilograms, down from the typical 1,000 kilograms of diesel utes, thanks to the battery's mass. And while 2,500 kilograms of brake towing capacity suffices for most trailers and campers, it falls 1,000 kilograms shy of the segment's benchmark. Fuel economy can be higher than BYD's claims when you spend significant time off-road or towing, due to the petrol generator's periodic high RPM operation. Pricing also remains uncertain beyond the promise of under $60,000, with orders opening October 29th and first deliveries slated for December or January. But undercutting established rivals like the Ranger XLT Biturbo and Hilux SR5 by several $1,000s suggests BYD intends to shake up the market on value alone. On the tech front, the Shark 6 is equally well equipped. A 12-speaker Dynaudio sound system turned my playlist into a concert hall, while over-the-air updates promise that software quirks, and there are a few, like driver attention monitoring defaults, can be ironed out remotely. Safety systems include autonomous emergency braking, lane keep assist, 360-degree cameras, and parking sensors that deactivate in terrain modes to avoid nuisance alerts. The driver aid suite feels both comprehensive and customizable, allowing you to strike the right balance between vigilance and intrusion. Charging is straightforward. Level 2 AC replenishment handles daily top-ups, while the Shark SIXS 55 kilowatts DC fast charging capability brings the battery from 30% to 80% in around 25 minutes. That kind of convenience, paired with the hybrid's petrol fallback, removes the anxiety of range and charging infrastructure that can plague full EV adopters. By the end of my time with the BYD Shark 6, I was struck by how well it balances contradictions. It's a Uda that feels more like an upscale SUV, a PHEV that drives predominantly on electric power, and a workhorse that doubles as a weekend adventurer. Yes, it carries a weight penalty that trims its payload and towing specs, and yes, higher real-world fuel use occasionally punctures the EV idle, but these are small prices to pay for a vehicle that redefines what a plug-in hybrid Uda can be. BYD's rapid rise in Australia is no accident. With the Shark 6, they're delivering a package that challenges the established order on every front: price, technology, efficiency, and driving dynamics. So, is the 2026 BYD Shark 6 your next Uda? If you crave silent city commutes, generous V2L power for tools and appliances, and the occasional off-grid excursion, all wrapped in a surprisingly premium package, then you'll want to pencil in October 29th to place your order. Stay tuned as we get closer to launch and dive deeper into real-world ownership costs, long-term reliability, and how this Chinese disruptor stacks up against the stalwarts. Until then, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button, share with your mates, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss our full-length first drive when these hit showrooms. Safe travels, and I'll catch you in the next one.